So lying down, and you've got your support just behind you here. You've got a bolster resting on a block, and make sure that you have your head and neck supported. So maybe you have a blanket, or maybe you place another little block underneath the head. And you can choose to open the knees up into butterfly with the soles of the feet together, or they might be fully outstretched along the mat, or you might like to have the knees bent with the soles of the feet on the floor. So finding a supported, reclined position here. The arms can rest outside with the palms face up. And allow the shoulder blades to be completely equal on your bolster. So really nestling in and feeling that one shoulder blade is not leaning over to one side than the other. And as you begin to settle into this posture, make any final adjustments as you need. And begin to find a steady and even breath, breathing in and out of the nostrils. Choosing to close the eyes or keep a soft gaze. If you've got bright lights above you, you may just wish to close the eyes softly. Relaxing the forehead, the temples, the jaw. Softening through the tongue and the teeth. Allowing the neck and throat to rest easy. And the shoulders and the chest start to release and open here after your day. Feel the entire spine connecting into the support. And allow the hips and the buttocks to relax and feel grounded to the mat, as well as the feet. And start to soften through the joints of the body, the key joints of the shoulders, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. And not forgetting the joints in the fingers, the toes, and the wrists. Becoming settled as you gain presence. Not allowing the mind to wander. If you notice it's drifted away, just bring it back to the breath or how you feel physically on the mat today. And in Western culture, we associate one day of the year with love. Valentine's Day. We most often direct this love towards another person. But us yogis like to practice Bhakti Yoga, known as the yoga of love and devotion, every day of the year. More than just a single day, Bhakti is an entire practice dedicated to love. It teaches us that we can have union, the meaning of the word yoga, when we devote ourselves to connecting with love. This love could come from anywhere. Bhakti is the yoga of love and devotion to the God of one's own unique understanding. There's no dogma involved. If you have devotion in your life, you know where to put your attention, whether it is to a God, to a person, to nature, to your yoga practice, to yourself, or to anything else. Loving ourselves is the first step. And instead of looking for love, remember that we are love. When we can unconditionally ourselves, we can unconditionally love the object of our attention. So in our Bhakti Yin practice today, find that devotion to your unique understanding for the practice of Yin Yoga, but also your unique understanding of love and devotion to yourself and why you come to your mat each and every day or each and every week. Maybe invite a sankalpa or an intention for practice, finding true bhakti, love and devotion. Gently bring some movement back into the fingertips, back into the toes. Giving yourself a big stretch. And then taking your time to come out of your posture, maybe lifting the head, looking along the body, just releasing through the back of the neck, and then taking time to roll over and removing your bolsters and your blocks away and come up to seated. Make sure you're comfortable here for a seated practice of Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is that slight restriction just at the back of the windpipe, so you kind of draw in the glottis, and it's very easy to do it if you kind of have a mirror in front of you and you're kind of breathing into the mirror, and you can feel that vibration of that breath. And then when you start to close the mouth and then you're just breathing in and out of the nostrils, you still find that slight restriction. It's not completely closing off the windpipe. We still want breath to go down, but it's a very warming breath. So just finding your position here, easy pose, Sukhasana, sitting nice and tall, and make sure that the chest and the shoulders are open and relaxed. The spine is long, so the breath is free to move around the torso. Take a deep breath in and out through the nostrils. And then start to restrict the windpipe for Ujjayi. And it's a slight audible sound. Doesn't have to be loud. Just for you to hear, maybe. Ujjayi breath means victorious breath. We practice in order to conquer ourselves. Breathe through your nose, but feel like you are breathing through a straw in the base of your throat. Feel the constriction in the back of the throat and listen to the sound that arises. In and out. Slow and steady Ujjayi breath. Keep a steady tempo, just you and your breath. Notice the oceanic sound that you make. Trace the sound deep into your being. until your breath becomes the ocean itself. Keep breathing in and out as if you were drawing a fine silk thread through the eye of a needle. Each slow inhale fills the belly and the lungs, and each exhale releases and relaxes tension from the mind and body. Just take a few more rounds of Ujjayi, that slight restriction just at the back of the throat. Feel it warming through the throat, warming through the body. Warming your heart. And then releasing the Ujjayi breath and just coming to a steady, even breath, no restriction in the back of the throat. Probably not hearing the sound of the Ujjayi or the ocean waves either. Change the legs. If you had cross-legged, place the other one in front. And just give yourself a little wiggle. Circle the shoulders up and down. Breathing in to lift the shoulders, breathing out to circle them back. We're going to take a little neck release, so dropping the ear down towards the shoulder. Keep the shoulders nice and level so this shoulder isn't lifting up. Draw that shoulder down, feel the stretch through the neck, and keep the face looking forward rather than down or up towards the sky. Breathe into this side of the neck. Try to relax the muscles. Let the head be heavy. Just a few more breaths here. If you feel the head getting heavier and heavier, notice if this becomes a little bit or more of a deeper stretch. And slowly use the hand, lift the head up rather than using the neck muscles because it's been down there for a while. Okay, so going to the other side, dropping the ear over and not turning the chin forward or lifting the chin, keeping the face straight forward and making sure that the shoulders are nice and level. Keep drawing this shoulder away so you feel the stretch from the shoulder to the earlobe. And just notice if one side feels a little bit tighter or looser than the other. Our bodies are not symmetrical. They're not completely balanced. We try to find equilibrium with left and right postures. But we always have a more dominant side. Breathing out, letting the head drop a little bit more with the weight. More breaths here. And then using the hand, lift the head up into the center. Just notice now, right and left sides of the neck, how they feel. Just release left and right, turning the head. Chin goes over shoulder. And then drop the chin towards the chest. Again, not rolling the shoulders forward. Spine is nice and long. Shoulders are drawing downwards. You're just dropping the weight of the head, chin to chest. Feel the back of the neck releasing and stretching. So still working with February's theme of flexibility, flexibility into the neck. If you ever get really tight neck, some of these postures are quite good to do at the end of the day. Breathing out, letting the chin drop just a little bit more. This time we're going to put the hands together into Anjali Mudra. We're going to place the thumbs just at the third eye, and we're going to use the hands to lift the head back up into center. So just use the hands, lift the head, resting the head right back on top of the shoulders once more. And the thumbs are connected at the third eye. Just draw in for a moment to our Bhakti love and devotion practice today. Finding love for yourself, particularly on this day of Valentines. And then nice and slowly release the hands, circle the shoulders, and let's come down into a prone position. So lying on your belly, bring the hands underneath your head. And because we've been seated for a while, just take a note how you feel through the spine. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the spine, relaxing the buttocks, relaxing the legs, the feet and the ankles. Bring the feet together. Try and connect the toes and the heels. Reach the arms out in front of you, palms face down, and stretch the fingers away. And then draw the body down. Forehead comes to the mat. Feel the body stretching forwards and backwards. As if somebody's pulling your fingers away from you and pulling your toes. And then nice and slowly bring the arms back underneath the shoulders. Widen the feet to the outer edges and just press up into a very, very low cobra. Don't have to come too high. And then roll down. So we're going to come into bow tie position. So you can take your right arm through and under, and then your left arm goes on top. And if that's too much with both arms, you can work with one arm and you can place the other one out in front of you. And you can rest your head either on a block. So you're going to start to draw the body down. So left shoulder starts to pull down. Good. Relaxing the head. Trying to get those arms crossed underneath your heart. And feeling that both shoulders are level. Letting the body weight drop further. You may feel a stretch on that left outer shoulder. If not, try and draw the shoulder down a little bit more. If you start to feel any pins and needles or numbness in the fingers, just move the hands, move the wrists. And broaden the shoulders across the back. Doing great, almost there. This is bow tie. And to come out of the posture, just press through the elbows, lift the front arm out, lift the underneath arm out, turn onto the cheek and place the hands by your hips, palms face up. So let's come to the other side. So that means the left one comes in towards you, and the right one is on the outer side. Drop the body down. Try and cross the elbows at the heart space. Maybe the head rests on a block or it might meet the mat. And this time you're trying to level off the shoulders, drawing the right shoulder down. Broadening the shoulders across the back. If you feel pins and needles into the fingers, just give those a little wiggle. Just a few more breaths here. Let go just a little bit more. Feel that the body weight is pushing itself down into the crook of your elbows and upper arms. And slowly press yourself up onto the elbows. Release the front arm. Release the underneath arm. Turn to the right cheek. Hands come down by the side of your body. Palms face up. Looking forward, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press up once more just into that little low cobra. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Slowly lower, releasing the belly, the rib cage, and the heart down. Let's press back into a tabletop. And just find your neutral position here in tabletop, swaying the hips, maybe a few little circles. And then find a few rounds of cat and cow here. So we're going to tuck the toes under just for your cow. So you're going to press into the toes, looking forward for cow. Exhaling, release to the tops of the feet, rounding the shoulders for cat. Tucking the toes, pressing back through the toe beds for your cow, releasing to the tops of the feet for cat. So again, we're just trying to find some flexibility into the ankles and the toes, whilst we're finding flexibility into the spine. Find the steady breath that moves you from cat to cow and from cow to cat. That's what I meant. And last time, returning back to neutral and just releasing back into child's pose. Stretching the arms in front of you. You can widen the knees, give yourself that freedom of the belly between the thighs, and take the arms to the outer edges of your mat, reaching them away. Just as we did in that full prone position, with the hands out in front of us, as if somebody was pulling your fingertips forward, and somebody now is just pulling your hips back. Feel the length through the spine, creating space into the back body. And let's find some stillness in child's pose here.
Continuing to slow down the mind, finding stillness through the body, remembering the Bhakti love and devotion for practice. Nothing is tense or tight or gripping. You're allowing release and letting go each breath. Nice and slowly lifting the head, just walking the hands back towards the body, keeping the chin towards the chest, just releasing the hips back towards the heels as you slowly roll up to kneeling. Find the length through the spine as you come upright, dropping the shoulders. Just take a notice here how that bow tie felt. And circle the shoulders. And if you've got your bolster handy or a cushion, we're going to use that one to kneel upon. And if you've got your strap handy, we're going to use the strap for archer pose. So lifting up the left arm, right arm comes behind you. You can take hold of the strap, or maybe the fingers meet. Then lengthen the spine. Keep that elbow nice and open. And settle into this pose. We're here for a few minutes. Closing the eyes. Really try to draw the rib cage back in as if you're knitting the rib cage together so it's not flaring out. You're really drawing the rib cage in and down. Belly is sucked in, spine is long, shoulders are relaxed, neck and face are soft. And you're letting all the weight just fall into the buttocks on your bolster. Just really think about drawing that bicep up towards the ear and start to pull the strap back so you can find your little bit of resistance, little bit of edge. Elbow starts to reach up towards the sky a little bit more, and this elbow tucks in underneath the rib cage. And maybe you find that the fingers get a little bit closer together behind the back. And slowly release the strap. Let the strap just fall. Release the arms and circle. Before we come into the other side, we're just going to do another posture to release. So just coming down into melting heart pose, because we're going to do melting heart pose twice. Once after the right, once after the left. So fingertips come forward, keeping the hips nice and lifted. You're going to press the chest, press the shoulders downwards. Maybe the hands come, maybe the elbows come to the mat. You can rest the head on a block here. Or if you wish to take this a little bit differently, you can bring both of your blocks out in front of you, and you can rest your forearms on those blocks and then press the chest down. So you might want to feel the difference there by using the blocks. Those fingertips are reaching and stretching away. You're pressing the chest deeper towards the mat as you breathe out. Melting the heart front and back. Slowly to come out of the posture, just rock the hips forward, coming onto the forearms, keeping the knees down, and just press through the palms, forearms, and elbows into that forearm press. Belly is nicely lifted. And then from here, just drop into Sphinx, drop the hips, and open the chest. We're just going to stay in Sphinx for 1 minute, so find 5 or 6 long, slow, deep breaths. Open the chest, open the shoulders. Neck is soft and long. Face is relaxed, eyes are closed. And slowly press back. Bring the hands back underneath tabletop. Sway out. Roll back through kneeling. And then bring that bolster underneath the knees once more. Find your strap. Let's take the opposite side. So finding archer pose, really drawing that bicep elbow in towards the ear, not the ear towards the bicep. And just drawing that underneath arm towards the rib cage. Lengthen the spine, knit the rib cage, relax into the kneel. Close the eyes if you wish. And take a few moments here to just feel what it's been like on the opposite side. Maybe you feel additional tightness. Maybe you feel additional release. Being completely accepting of what sensations and feelings are coming up for you. Know that everything is always temporary. There's always a release coming. Just a few more breaths here. Lengthen the spine. Draw those arms in just a little bit more. Find the edge. Find that point of resistance. Find your full range of motion. And then release the strap. Release the arms and circle. So once more, we're going to come into that melting heart, and you can choose your options either with the block or just resting the arms down, lifting up the hips. Just noticing second time around if you feel a little bit easier, and you might wish to rest on the chin here, or the forehead, or the head on a block. Really feel the heart space of the back body melting into the front heart space, and the front heart space melting in towards the earth. Breathing out, releasing tightness anywhere into the chest, the shoulders, the neck, the upper back. Breathing easy. And coming out of the posture, just sliding yourself forward onto the forearms. Again, finding that neutral position with the spine, lifting up the belly, crown of the head reaches forward. Holding, pressing into the mat. And then from here, trying to maintain the position of the elbows and just dropping the hips to the mat. And maybe sliding yourself back if you need to. Find that Sphinx position, closing the eyes. Second time around, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, making sure the tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Glutes are engaged, spinal extensors are working to support the spine. And just release the neck a little bit from side to side, yes and no. Few little semicircles. You're still in your Sphinx position. You're just releasing the neck from the melting heart. And then press back. Come back into tabletop position. Sway out through the hips. Few rounds of cat and cow if you need. Notice you might have further mobility within the spine here for cow, dropping the belly, tucking the toes, exhaling, drawing the belly back towards the spine, dropping to the tops of the feet. Toe and ankle flexibility. Last time, pressing away into cat. And then we're going to come back into prone for our lying chest opener before we come down onto our backs. So this one, couple of variations. So you can have a block underneath the head if you need it. And the left arm is either in a 45-degree bend here, or you might extend it out. So see what works for you. I prefer personally straight arm, but you find your choice. So the knees are bent. Right hand can either come here, or you might wish to take it back around you. So find your option of the arm. Palm is face down, and this leg might just come back a little bit more as well. So again, all options. Okay, so lying chest opener. Good, yes. And we're going to try and find that real deep opener through that underside of the armpit and the chest. Slow and steady breaths, releasing all tension from anywhere that you might be holding in this shoulder joint. And gently returning the arm back if you took the bind, returning the legs back, rolling onto your front, and just release right hand underneath the head, left hand back by the hips, palms face up, relax through that left shoulder. And then coming to the other side, right arm either 45 degrees or straight, rolling onto your hip. Choosing to bend the knees Maybe the head is supported by a block. That's okay. And you can choose to take the left arm back around behind you. And then you can release that left leg as well into a stag leg. So as we switch to the other side, you might notice one side is much more tighter than the other. This is definitely my tighter side. Breathing out, letting go. More breaths. And slowly releasing the leg, releasing the bind, bringing that left arm as you roll back into prone underneath the forehead. Right arm comes by the hip, palm face up. And then gently, both hands come underneath the shoulders, press back through tabletop. Exhale through child's pose. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Exhale, just take a moment to kneel. And let's find one more kneeling posture here. You can choose to come onto the bolster if you need to. It's your reverse prayer. So hands come back behind you. Maybe the knuckles just meet at the base of the spine. Or maybe the fingertips come up through the shoulder blades. Just roll the shoulders open. Try not to flare the ribs too much far forward. Knitting the ribs, sitting nice and tall. Let's hold here for 10 breaths. So you've probably got shoulder and wrist flexibility going on here if you've got the reverse prayer. Trying to connect all fingers, maybe trying to push the palms together. Slowly slide the hands down the back, bring them forward, circle into the wrists, release. Good. Give them a little shake. And we're going to come down onto our backs. And if you have the bolster by the side of you on the right side of your mat, and just take a nice slow roll down through the spine, relaxing shoulders. And when you get down there, just gently feel the spine start to connect, spread the shoulder blades out underneath you, and draw the knees in towards the chest. Roll and massage out a little bit through the spine. So this is our lying spinal twists. So you can choose your option. Either the right leg goes straight or maybe bent. Left leg comes over onto your bolster. Make sure that the knee and the foot are all supported. And you can then start to open up through the left side into the twist by trying to anchor and draw the left shoulder down. Hopefully the armpits, the shoulders and the chest are quite nicely open now. And then the hands can come out to the side, either straight or bent in cactus, palms face up towards the sky. Your choice to either look towards the right hand, left hand, or straight above. We're here for 3 minutes. Make sure you're comfortable and find stillness and hold the pose. Relax the underneath legs, relax the glutes, soften into the mat. Keep letting go. Each exhale. Release even more. That top leg, the left leg, becomes heavier. The underneath leg becomes more and more relaxed into the mat. And then bring the gaze back into the center. Bring the arms back down and then roll into the center, lifting that top left leg. Place the feet wide, heels turn out, toes turn in, knees just rock in towards one another. Relax the belly, the pelvis. Just feel the neutral rest position. Then lifting up your bolster carefully over to the other side. Rolling onto your left hip, right leg. Make sure that that's knee and foot are supported. You can keep that underneath leg bent or straight. Start to roll the shoulders back so you're really trying to draw the right shoulder downwards. And then arms can be bent or straight out to the side of you, and you can choose the neck position either left, right, hand, or up above. Breathe out, let everything release into the posture now. Find the stillness, hold the pose. Really looking to create openness through the chest into the rotational twist of the spine, breathing deep into the belly and the digestive organs, relaxing the top leg, relaxing the underneath glutes. Taking a deep breath in, bringing the hands back, head back, and leg back into the center. Find that restorative rest. Realign the pelvis, the spine. Feet go wide, toes turn in, and knees just rest together. And without too much movement now, just make your way into your final relaxation posture of Shavasana. Make sure that you are warm using blankets. And just releasing the legs, releasing the hands. Gradually softening your body into the mat. And just give yourself a little body scan all the way from the toes up through the feet, the ankles, into the legs, the knees, the upper legs, the hips, the spine, the torso. Relaxing the shoulders, the arms, the hands, and letting the head be fully supported as you relax the facial expression. Slowing down the breath, I'll leave you for a few minutes of your own personal silence in Shavasana and let you know when it's time to come back around.
Beginning to take a few deeper breaths now. Taking time to awaken from Shavasana as you bring yourself back into your surroundings, onto your mat and into the body by bringing soft and gentle movement. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, moving the wrists and ankles. And choosing to stretch or draw the knees in and roll, or both, whatever you need to do. And taking time to roll over to one side and just bring yourself back up into a comfortable seat, whatever that is for you. Hands come into the heart center, Anjali Mudra, sitting nice and tall. Relax the shoulders and feel the length of the neck. Feel the openness of the chest, the shoulders, and the upper back. And remind yourself of any intention or sankalpa for your practice today for bhakti, love and devotion on this day, Valentine's Day, of course, and always reminding yourself to thank your body and your breath for your practice, as well as yourself for showing up. And I wish you a very, very happy Valentine's evening, however you spend it. Thank you and namaste.